class 9. Now today we are going to learn thrust and pressure. Thrust and pressure. So what is thrust? A body always exerts a force equal to its weight. Any body exerts a force equal to its weight on any surface supporting it. The effect of this force on the surface depends on the area. The effect of force on the surface is depend on area which it is spread. So what is thrust? So thrust means force acting normally on a surface is called thrust. Force acting normally on a surface. So normally means perpendicularly. Force acting normally on a surface is called the thrust. This is thrust. Force acting normally on the surface. Thrust is a vector quantity. Thrust is vector because it has magnitude as well as direction and is measured in the unit of force, because thrust is also a force. So unit of thrust is Newton. Now next is pressure. What do you mean by pressure? In order to understand the concept of pressure, first let us consider some examples related to practical life. Okay. So this is the case. Number 1 example: when you stand on loose sand, your feet sink deeply into it. But if you lie down on it, your body sink in very little. In either case, the force exerted on the sand is due to the weight of your body and is the same. In both the cases, the force are same. When you stand, this force acting on a smaller area. When you stand, force act on smaller area. But when you lie down, the force act on longer area. Same force act on longer area of the sand. This is example number 1. Now example number 2: a sharp knife cuts easily than blunt knife by applying the same force. If you apply same force with sharp knife and blunt knife, sharp knife can easily cut as compared to blunt knife. So this is the second example. Now move to third example, third and fourth. Now we can consider 4 examples. Okay, now number 3 example is a sharp needle pressed against our skin pierces it, but a blunt object, a wider contact area, does not affect the skin when pressed against it with the same force. Number 4 is, if an elephant happens to step on man's chest, his ribs would crack. But a circus performer saves himself from such an incident by placing a large, light but strong wooden plank on his chest. Means, from the above discussion, it follows that the effect of the force of the same magnitudes on different area is different. So different area have different effects of force. Smaller the area on which the force act, greater is the impact. So smaller area has greater impact of force. Now we will be able to define what is pressure. So pressure is thrust acting per unit area of the surface is called pressure. Thrust acting per unit area, thrust acting or force acting. Thrust is a force. Force acting per unit area is called pressure. Area of the surface is called pressure. Now it is denoted by P. It is denoted by P. Mathematically, pressure is thrust by area. So thrust is force. So P equals to F by A. Now what is the unit of pressure? Unit of pressure is Pascal. It is represented by PA. Capital P, small letter A is Pascal. So 1 Pascal equals to 1 Newton per meter square. Now we will define the 1 Pascal. Okay, 1 Pascal is defined as the pressure exerted on surface of 1 meter square. Pressure exerted on 1 meter square area. Pressure exerted on 1 meter square area by thrust of 1 Newton acting normally on it is called 1 Pascal. So 1 Pascal equals to 1 Newton per meter square. If the thrust is 1 Newton and the area is 1 meter square, then the pressure will be 1 Pascal. Now other units of pressures are bar and millibars. So bar. So 1 bar equals to 10 to the power 5 Newton per meter square and 1 millibar equals to 10 to the power 2 Newton per meter square. Okay, this much for today. Thank you.